Hi everyone, and welcome to Action Bullet Points. So today is going to be a very short episode, as Mariana and I are busy with all things that are happening outside of the range. And when it comes to shooting, nationals are just around the corner, less than 2 weeks away. We're busy training, preparing, what have you. But there is one thing I wanted to touch on following on last week's episode. So production division and my personal journey in production division. And it was interesting. Now, in retrospect, I can tell you that it was production is by far the hardest division to start. Well, let me rephrase that. It's the easiest division to start, but the hardest division to shoot and actually see the meaningful progress, achieve meaningful results. When I started shooting my first competition ever, the goal was not to come last, and I was shooting my stock standard Glock 17, and I was competing with people who were shooting action for quite a while. They had fine-tuned production guns with much lighter trigger pull, different sights, and what have you, but I had no idea how that works. I didn't know how to get prawn properly. I actually thought that, well, if I can't get prawn that fast as others do, I no idea how they can do it. It actually looked like rocket science to me. I might as well engage targets kneeling, and then I've been politely told that, nah, can't do it. You either engage targets standing or you engage targets prone. That's in the rule book. So that was an interesting revelation. So anyway, my advice to people who never shot action to find a club that shoots action and actually give it a try. It is by far the most exciting sport where you can actually track your progress, unlike IPSC where you shoot different stages every single time. Not a single stage repeats, and it's really sort of, I mean, you can track your progress, but it's not as straightforward, especially for the new shooters. And then also action teaches you to not to drop any shots, to use all the time, but land them as accurately as you can. And it helps you with IPSC and speed still big time. So enough said, with my first competition being in October 2017, so that's how long ago that was, almost 7 years ago. So this October is going to be 7 years sharp when I started shooting action. So never looked back ever since. That's how good it is. So anyway, my only objective at that competition was not to come last, and I didn't come last, and I even shot over 1,000 points mark, which I thought was, wow, that's pretty cool. My first ever result was 10.28. So from that point, I progressed very, very fast. So I sort of crossed 1,300. I was still sitting on marksman grade, which was very frustrating if you look at the open shooters who are all sort of masters, high masters and what have you. But then you look at the production shooters, the bulk of production shooters are actually sitting in the marksman below 1536. So I was sitting in the marksman division for quite a while, up until actually 2020. So this is where I really taken off at around nationals of 2020. So I went from marksman into the sharpshooter grade, and I am right now in the sharpshooter grade. But then, as you can see, something else happened. You can see there a huge sort of stretch of flat line when nothing happened. So that nothing happened. Lots and lots of things. So first there is COVID, right? So we couldn't shoot. So the lockdowns were on and off entire 2020, 2021. Even I think there were some in 22. I'm not too sure. But then anyway, that aside, I also stopped shooting production for a different reason, because I started shooting other divisions. So I went into open, then I tried metallic for a bit, then I concentrated on production optics. There are certain limitations in action of number of guns and divisions you can compete. And again, I looked up the rule book, didn't find the relevant passage, so can't show it to you. But in New Zealand, the rule is that you shoot your primary gun first, then you shoot your secondary gun. And if it's a 3-day event, you can shoot yet another gun on day 3. And now they did a bit of reverse. So shooting production optics, you are competing on Friday, and then Saturday is your primary gun, which for many people are open. I would argue for me, primary gun would be production optics, but since we are doing it on Friday, I have to do it on Friday, right? And then I do shoot open on Saturday, and then on Sunday I used to shoot metallic, but then I figured out that metallic is just not the division for me. I only ended up buying an open and a metallic gun because they were sort of coupled together, and I really wanted that metallic gun. But then I ended up not shooting it that well. But then it really worked for Mariana, and she loves shooting it. But anyway, for me, the third gun is always production. And God, I ended up just enjoying shooting production. Finally breaking 1700 at Cali Cup this year. I'm really excited about nationals. I'm just sort of hoping and praying there are no malfunctions. I can get all my rounds away, and if that is the case, then it's on me as a shooter. With that, what I recommend, especially for the new shooters, what I would absolutely recommend is you can actually shoot the same gun. You can shoot one gun, the same gun, in multiple divisions. Again, didn't find any references in the rule book, but in New Zealand, the way it's done is if you are shooting a production gun, you can actually shoot it as metallic and as open. Nothing stops you from doing that. In fact, I would encourage you, especially if you're new to action, I would encourage you to enter in all three divisions. The sequence is going to be slightly different. So they will mandate that you shoot the gun that's kind of in the division that it fits the most, like production gun would be more suited for production, but you shoot it production is primary gun, and that's going to be your production score. As they figured out, as you progress through the competition multiple days, you're getting more and more practice, you're getting more and more sort of relaxed and knowing what's going on. So the way they're going to probably put it is going to be production, open, and metallic. So if you choose to shoot 2 days, or you shoot at production and open, or production and metallic. If it's only 2 days, it's kind of your call what the secondary division you enter. I don't think they're going to be that fast. I mean, being match organizers. So yeah, my advice to you would be take your production gun out there, shoot in multiple divisions, compete as much as you can. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. The promise was not to make it long, so like, subscribe, YouTube, Rumble. See ya.